Well, the thing is that you want to start a, let's say, a delivery business, but you have to think about the kind of car, the kind of vehicle that you buy, right? It's really important because it's a lot of resources, whether you lease or buy the car anyway. Okay, boss? So in today's conversation, I want to compare and contrast cargo van, sprinter van, box truck, and straight truck. So which is best for your expedited delivery business? Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation, I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweet Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, we want to compare and contrast cargo vans, sprinter vans, box trucks, and straight trucks. Okay, we want to find out the best vehicle for your expediting business. Really important. The thing is, boss, if you're looking to become an expedite owner operator, one of the most important decisions you will make is the vehicle you will drive. I mean, that's really what it is, right? And that's because your vehicle, whether it is a cargo van, straight truck, or tractor trailer, determines really which trucking carriers, which shippers in general you can sign with, what size and types of loads you can take on, and ultimately how much money you will be able to make and keep, right? So, but bigger is not always better and cheaper is not always more profitable. It's all about striking the right balance. So to help you decide, we are actually doing this review. So let's start with the sprinter van. Very important. Okay, so sprinter van, when you think about the sprinter van, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is truly a commercial vehicle business. Okay, this is something that you can actually you can use a business vehicle rather, and you can use it on a lot of things. So when we talk about sprinter van, especially coming from Mercedes, you are thinking about a vehicle that is part of a long line of models. You have the Sprinter cargo van, the Sprinter crew van, the Sprinter passenger van, and other vehicles. But we want to focus on the Sprinter cargo van. So it is reliable. We love that. And the cool thing is that this vehicle has low emission. So this is kind of cool because you are trying to you are thinking about performance here. You're thinking about longevity of the vehicle. So it's really important. So we have a reliability, low emission performance, which is also actually a constant that you always see with Mercedes-Benz vehicles anyway, with Sprinter vans. And we love the fact that you can customize the vehicle also. Okay, you can build your ultimate work vehicle. It's totally up to you. Okay, you have a driver convenience package, you have premium package, you can choose the package you want, whether you want to buy the vehicle or you want to lease it. Okay, and we love the technology you have in the Sprinter van. Really cool. Okay, and so you also love the fact that you can travel and work in confidence here. And when it comes to shipping with Sprinter vans, you have to understand that a Sprinter van is a light commercial vehicle that actually became popular like I would say 20 years ago. Okay, and the thing is, you want to use Sprinter vans for, let's say, if you have a wide variety of cargo that needs to get from place to place quickly, and you don't need, let's say, you don't have time, and you don't need a larger truck, then a Sprinter van might be good for you. As a delivery business, you can use a Sprinter van for a lot of I would say domestic and OT or on the road assignments. It's totally possible. It's very nimble and it has the right technology. Okay, but remember, it is a light commercial vehicle. A light commercial vehicle. Let me talk to you about cargo van. So what is a cargo van anyway? When people talk about cargo van, what is the technical definition? Well, a cargo van such as the Ford Transit is one piece. It's actually a one-piece vehicle in which the cargo area has the potential to be accessed from the inside of the vehicle. Very important. So the cargo van is similar in design to a passenger van from the exterior, and typically has a sliding door. It has a sliding side door and rear doors to load and unload cargo. Okay, and so when we talk about a cargo van, we're speaking about a smaller size vehicle. Okay, so it is pretty cool when it comes to parking and maneuverability. Okay, you can access tools and cargo from the vehicle's cab, and you can handle, and this kind of van, the cargo van, handles more like a traditional vehicle. Okay, so this is something important. So when we talk about what defines cargo vans, we're speaking about the weight. Okay, we have a class 1 up to 6,000 pounds, class 2 from 6,000 to 10,000 pounds, and for class 3 we have 10,000 pounds to 14,000 pounds. Okay, and what are the pros and cons of cargo vans, you might ask? Especially if you are an expediter, it's important to know that a cargo van, for example, is easy to drive and park. Okay, so if you are trying to haul, you want to haul freights, let's say within a city, it's kind of cool to have a cargo van. Okay, it is affordable compared to all the other vehicles. It's way more affordable than the Sprinter van. Okay, it is fuel efficient. So a cargo van will typically offer better MPG than a box truck. Okay, so this is kind of cool. You're talking about 24 MPG in the city and 27 MPG on the highway. So this is pretty good. Okay, so easy to drive and park, affordable, and fuel efficient. What about the cons? Well, a cargo van is smaller, so you have a smaller storage area. This is something you need to think about. Okay, so as a consequence of that, you can actually you have less payload. In other words, you will not be able to haul really heavy items in a cargo van because the average model has a payload of around 3,700 pounds. Okay, much less than that of a box truck, for example. Okay, so even the legendary Ford Transit that work van has a maximum payload capacity of 5,110 pounds. So think about that. And a cargo van also has a lower roof. So although cargo vans come with the various roof heights, they are still far lower than the cargo area of most box trucks, for example. Okay, so this is something you need to think about. So in our view, so cargo van, you have the pros. You have lower acquisition and operational cost, easy to maneuver. But the cons, you have a limited cargo space and income potential, because if you have limited cargo space, you're basically going to haul less freight. Okay, this is really important. So when it comes to shipping with cargo vans, there are a few things I want you to think about. So what are the recommended uses here? Well, cargo vans they're typically able to handle approximately 3,400 pounds of cargo. So in general, this can fit approximately, 40 medium boxes. 40 medium boxes. Okay, you might be able to transport a few pieces of medium furniture as well. Okay, you should be able to fit a twin or full mattress in a cargo van. This could also be a good option if you have desks, for example. Okay, you have water coolers to move, you have couches to move and whatnot. And so when it comes to cargo van, especially the delivery business, it's good to actually use it in urban centers. Okay, in fact, the cargo van is considered to be nimbler and better on fuel economy. I've already said that. Okay, in comparison to box trucks, for example. Okay, and here are some additional considerations you need to think about. Well, you don't have to get a Class A CDL, commercial driver's license, to drive a cargo van. Not at all. However, if you purchase or lease a box truck, you need to have a driver with a Class B CDL. Okay, so it's really important to think about that. So for cargo vans, you're not required to have a CDL as long as the weight does not exceed 26,000 pounds. Very important. Okay, this is very important. Now, here are the most popular cargo vans in our view. So you have the Ford Transit Class 3, okay, and you have, so this is one of the best-selling vans in America, and it's usually considered as one of the best in its class, the Ford Transit Class 3. Then you have the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Class 2, okay. This is this vehicle, as I just said before, it offers functionality and practicality, okay, all wrapped up in a premium package. It costs more though, okay. You have the Ram ProMaster Class 2, another great workhorse here. Okay, it's so Ram's popular cargo van is among the models with the widest cargo area and lowest load floor, making it quite practical. So what we love with the Ram ProMaster is that is actually the cargo area. Think about it, right? If you want to expedite profitably, you need to have a large cargo area. The more cargo area, the more money you have potentially. Okay. We have also the Chevy Express Class 2. This is a great and another exceptionally popular work van that's mechanically identical to the GMC Savannah. So something to think about. You have the Nissan NV 2500 Class 2, and this actually what we love with this van is that it comes with a powerful V8 gasoline unit, plenty of practicality, and a very box truck like square shape. Okay, this is really cool. I want to talk to you now about box trucks. So let's go back to 101 definition here. What is a box truck? People talk about box trucks, but what is the technical definition? You got to have a clear idea of what a box truck is. Okay, now box trucks also go by the name box van or cube van. So when you hear terms like box trucks, cube vans, box vans, they mean the same thing. They are interchangeable. Okay, so these trucks get their name from the separate box-shaped cargo area that sits on their frame. So in a box truck, the cargo area is completely separate from the cab and cannot be accessed from the interior. Okay, so due to their straight size, these box trucks tend to carry more than cargo vans, and they are often used by moving companies and others to carry large items. That's one thing you need to think about. So with box trucks, you have size. Very important, okay? So box trucks are more suitable for long distance transport. I'm talking about OTR, okay, across town or states, while cargo vans are more geared toward in-town transport, okay? So what defines box trucks really? Well, they are conventional. So basically the thing here is that there are two main types of box trucks, depending on where the engine is. You have conventional, so they have a distinctive nose since the engine is located in front of the steering wheel. For example, we have the Freightliner M2, or you have the cab over. So these trucks don't have a bonnet and the nose as the engine sits underneath the front seats. Example, they have the Isuzu NPR and Mitsubishi F-Series. Okay, this is very important. So when we talk about box trucks, we have to have in mind weight. Okay, so according to the FHA, the Federal Highway Administration, box trucks fall into the following weight classes as part of the truck classification. Okay, and so you have class 3, 10 pounds to 14 pounds, class 4, 14 pounds to 16 pounds, class 5, 16 pounds to 19 pounds, and class 6, 19,500 so it was 10,000 to 14,000, 14,000 to 6,000, 16,000 to 19,000, and class 6, 19,500 to 26,000. Okay, so those are things you got to think about. So what are the pros and cons of box trucks? Well, pros, you have superior cargo capacity and payload. I've just said that. So potentially more money. Okay, you have easier loading and unloading. When it comes to the pros, you have additional advertising space that you can use. Okay, you have, so this is really good. So you're talking about higher revenue potential. What about the cons? You have worse fuel economy. It's very expensive and it's difficult to park and maneuver. So things you have to think about. Now let's talk about the shipping. So as an expediter, what are the things you have to think about? Okay, well, first of all, when we talk about box trucks, remember that the flat sides and larger stature provide more storage space. I've said that before. A rolling rear door makes it easier to load and unload bulky items, which is really cool. And you can use the flat sides to place advertising. Okay, now talking about box truck freight hauling, remember that you need to understand that you have more storage space, so this is really good. I've said before, is better for OTR, so and out-of-state hauling. Okay, you don't want to use box truck in a city like New York or Los Angeles. I mean, just crazy. I mean, parking is just a nightmare already. and this depends on the configuration also of the truck. So you really have to think about that. And so if you're looking to haul, let's say, bulky items, you have a very demanding clients who want you to haul bulky items and very special ones, very special items. A box truck could be the way to go, okay? But it's just a lot better to go for those out of state or out of town assignments, okay? So what are the most popular box trucks in our view? You have the Isuzu N series, class 3 and 4, okay? This is what we love with the Isuzu is that they are durable, they are reliable, okay? Especially with their N series and NPR, this is really good. We have Hino 155 class 4, okay? So the 155 in our view is Hino's best-selling vehicle in the delivery truck segment, and is known for being a sturdy Japanese-built medium-duty box truck. We have also the Mitsubishi Fuso F160. This is class 4. Okay, this is really good, and this is a popular box truck line in the U.S., especially the highly regarded workhorse known as the Fuso F160. Okay, and one thing we have seen with this truck is that it is actually is it really reliable. It's just packed with technology. You can do a lot of things with it. You also have the Freightliner M2 106 class 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and so the huge U.S.-born Freightliner is designed to tackle very heavy loads thanks to its massive size and big engines. Okay, and then the last one is the Chevy LCF. Okay, so you have class 3, 4, and 5, and so the Chevy LCF, this is the low cab forward. LCF stands for low cab forward, is actually a common sight on U.S. roads with the models from 3500 and 5500 XT being the most popular ones. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about we're having a comparative analysis between cargo van, right, sprinter van, box truck, and straight truck. So let's talk about the last one, the straight truck. Okay, what is it really? Let's just have a clear understanding of the real definition here. Well, a straight truck is very similar to a regular tractor truck, except that on a straight truck, the tractor cannot be removed from the back of the truck because it only has a single frame. Okay, so straight trucks usually resemble a U-Haul truck and are mainly used for moving furniture, housing supplies, boxes, refrigerators, and washers or dryers. So if you have clients, if you have shippers who are in that kind of industry or have those types of needs, this is really cool to have a straight truck. Okay, so the primary purpose of this vehicle is for families wanting to move out of their houses. However, this truck can still be used for a variety of other things as well. Okay, so what is the difference between a tractor truck and a straight truck? Well, tractor trucks are used to haul trailers back and forth from destinations. They are also able to remove the tractor from the back of the truck and attach other tractor trailers to the back. Okay, so a straight truck, however, doesn't have a trailer hooked to the back that is able to be removed. Instead, it carries a box that is usually attached to the truck. So those are the configurations you need to clarify from the get-go. Okay, and so you can actually make some money from a straight truck. It depends on the industry you're in. Okay, it depends on the needs of your shippers also. So how long is a straight truck? It really depends, because straight trucks comes in many shapes, many sizes and lengths. Okay, so on average, what we have seen in our research is that the truck can be anywhere from 10 to 26 feet long in length. Okay, and so this is something you need to think about. And one thing I want to say here is that what makes straight trucks so unique is that you need to you have space. Okay, and remember that on average, someone who drives a straight truck will not need to get a CDL, because most of these trucks don't go over the limit of 26,000 pounds. Okay, and so most of these truckers get to be home daily with their family. Okay, so shipping with straight trucks is pretty straightforward actually. Okay, it's basically you can use it for to haul large furniture and appliances that won't fit in a van. Okay, and so what are the pros and cons here? Well, the pros for the street truck, the most common configuration for expediters, you have the large cargo area and sleeper options. The cons, you have a six-figure purchase price, challenging for solo operators to run profitably. Okay, what about tractor trailers? Well, the pros, the most flexibility with types and size of loads you can accept. The cons, you have the highest purchase and operational cost, more challenging to maneuver, especially for new drivers. Now, let me give you an overview. I mean, we have actually, we have talked about all this four vans, and we have talked about a lot of things. But the question is, what is the checklist you have to go through to actually choose one vehicle, one van here? Okay. Well, let me help you. First of all, would you operate as a solo driver or team? Because everything starts from there. Okay, the kind of van you need depends on your team, but it depends also on your personal resources. In other words, are you going to be an owner operator for your expediting business, or are you going to manage a team? Okay, so it's important. If you have a team, then you have to think about the skills of the team in choosing the right van for you. Whether you go for a sprinter van, a cargo van, a box truck, or a street truck, it really would depend on that. Now, what is your time frame for becoming an owner operator? So because if you are, let's say you are a solo driver looking to break into the business in a relatively short period, then a cargo van is the fastest way to go, right? Because of the lower price and down payment required. Because you got to think about that too. If you wanna start, you have to think about the budget you have. You have to think about your own skills, okay? And the time frame that you have. I mean, if you're thinking you want to break into the business, let's say, I want to start probably a year from now, or I want to start 2 years from now, or I want to start 5 years from now. Okay, based on that, can you get the financing ASAP? Because whether you want to lease or buy outright, you're going to need financing. Or, I mean, unless you are like, you have the cash and you just want to buy things outright. You have to think about the carrier demand for the vehicle, because your expediting business exists to serve clients. Okay, so what vehicle types are the trucking carriers or the shippers in general asking for? You have to make sure that your needs match what they're looking for, or your vehicle matches what they're looking for, so that they can actually buy from you. Because if you have the wrong vehicle, you're not going to get business. It's just as simple as that, right? Very simple as that. And you also have to think about what is your comfort level with the vehicle you're about to buy. Because the whole thing is you're going to have to be driving it, right? So you better be comfortable with the vehicle. And the thing here is that how much truck or how much freight will your business be able to support, will be able to haul? So those are considerations I want you to think about before actually choosing the cargo van or a sprinter van or whatever, right? So this is really important. So those are things you have to really have a clear idea from, and before you even start. Let me give you a few pro tips here. So there are a few things that you have to consider when choosing a box truck, cargo van, sprinter van, or a street truck. I was talking to you earlier about your business. Now I want to talk to you about the car itself, the vehicle itself. Earlier I was talking to you about your business, your shipper's needs, what kind of location you're operating from, all that kind of stuff. Now let's talk about the vehicle itself. You have to think about the size and weight of the cargo. This is important because you need to consider how large and heavy the items you'll be hauling will be. Because there is, in our view, a world of difference between transporting plastic cups or heavy stones. Yeah, definitely. Okay, you got to think also about the type of trade you're in, your niche. Your niche is very important because you have to, if you are in a niche that actually loves certain kinds of vans, you better actually have the van that they need and want. You got to think about the skills of the driver. Yeah, a lot of people owner operators, they don't think about the skills of the driver, because it is the driver who is going to drive the van anyway? So if you're a solo operator for now, and you have the skills required for it, then go for it. Then buy a van that actually fits all that kind of stuff, fits the vehicle you're about to buy. Okay, so what kind of transport are we talking about? Are we talking about OTR, on the road? We're talking about long distance or local transport. So remember, I was just telling you that a box truck or straight truck are better for long distance hauling. But if you want to do city hauling, go for cargo vans. Okay, because this is really important, because you got to think about parking. You got to think about maneuverability, especially if you are in a dense metropolis. Okay, and you got to think about your budget also, because your budget might eventually tip the scales in favor of the more affordable vehicle type of the four, the cargo van. So cargo van is really affordable. Okay, and then so after cargo van, you have sprinter van, and so this is really important. And when we talk about affordability, we are speaking about 25,000 to 45,000, 50,000. That's the price range for class 3. That's actually this is really what you can expect from a cargo van. So one thing I want to say here is that it's totally up to you. Okay, so when we talk about sprinter van, cargo van, box truck, and straight truck, which is the best? Well, the answer is very simple. It depends on you. It depends on your business. It depends on your expediting goals. But if you were to make a decision strictly based on affordability, in other words, based on price and maneuverability and parking and all that kind of stuff, we would say go with a cargo van. However, if you have larger needs, let's say you have needs for bulkier items to haul, or you need to actually do out-of-state hauling, think about straight truck or box truck. Now, a sprinter van actually sits right in the middle. In other words, sprinter van, you can use the sprinter van in city or outside the city. Okay, it's kind of similar to a cargo van, but more premium, if you will. It's a little more expensive, as all Mercedes-Benz cars are in general, because the quality is there, of course. But think about that. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate that. I was actually talking to you today about cargo van, sprinter van, box truck, and straight trucks. So I gave you an overview and a few pro tips, and hopefully with all the information we share with you today, you'll be able to make a better and a more informed purchasing decision. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.